Hello, friends. Welcome back to the English Conversation Podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Daniel. We're really excited to have you with us today because we're talking about something that can completely change your English learning. How to make your brain think in English.
Yes, this is such a powerful skill because when your brain starts thinking directly in English, you speak faster, sound more natural, and feel more confident.
Exactly. Many learners find themselves translating everything from their native language, and that can slow you down and cause mistakes. But today, we're going to share practical tips, plenty of examples, and even shadowing exercises to help you train your brain to think in English naturally.
Whether you're just starting out or have been learning for a while, this episode will give you tools you can use every day. So get ready to change the way your brain works with English.
All right, let's get started and unlock your potential to think in English.
All right, friends, now let's dive into part 1, why thinking in English matters. This is a super important step because understanding why you want to think in English will help you stay motivated on your learning journey.
Yes, Sarah. One of the biggest challenges for English learners is that habit of translating every word and sentence from their native language into English in their head before speaking. This slows you down and makes it harder to speak naturally.
Exactly. When you translate, you have to think twice, and sometimes you can even forget words or make mistakes because your brain is busy changing languages.
Thinking directly in English removes that extra step. It allows you to respond faster, feel more confident, and speak more fluently.
Here's a quick example. Instead of thinking in your native language, like, I want to go to the market, and then translating that, if you train your brain to think, I want to go to the market, directly in English, you'll speak much more smoothly.
Also, thinking in English helps you learn the natural way people use the language, the right expressions, structure, and rhythm, instead of just memorizing grammar rules or word lists.
And it builds your listening skills too, because when you think in English, your brain becomes quicker at understanding what others say without needing to translate everything back.
We both remember when we first learned English, this shift made a huge difference. It's not easy at first, but with practice, it becomes automatic.
So if you're struggling with speaking slowly or feeling stuck when talking, remember, training your brain to think in English is one of the most powerful ways to improve.
Keep that in mind as we move forward. Later in the episode, we'll share practical tips and exercises to help you start thinking in English right away.
Now, let's dive into part 2, practical tips to start thinking in English. These are simple, effective ways you can start training your brain right now.
Our first tip is to label objects around you in English. Look around. See a chair? Say to yourself, this is a chair. See water? Say, I am drinking water. Doing this connects words with real things and helps you think in English naturally.
Great example, Daniel. Tip number 2 is to narrate your actions. While you're doing something, describe it in English in your head or out loud. For instance, while brushing your teeth, think or say, I am brushing my teeth. Or making coffee, I'm making coffee now.
This helps your brain practice forming sentences and builds your vocabulary at the same time. Tip 3 is to ask yourself simple questions in English during the day, like, what should I eat today? Or, where's my phone? Answer them in English mentally. This encourages quick thinking and uses English actively in your mind.
And don't forget tip 4. Use sticky notes. Write common words or phrases on colorful notes and stick them around your room or workspace. Each time you see the note, say the word or sentence in English. It's a fun way to keep English in your daily life.
To make it more interactive, let's try a challenge together. Right now, say 5 simple sentences in your head about what you see or what you're doing. Here are some examples to get you started. I see a computer. I am sitting on a chair. The sun is shining.
Awesome! Doing this every day builds a habit that helps your brain automatically start thinking in English.
And remember, consistency is key. Even just 5 minutes of this kind of practice daily will make a big difference over time.
Now we're at part 3, shadowing technique to train your brain. This is a powerful exercise that can help you think and speak English more naturally and fluently.
Shadowing means you listen to someone speaking English and immediately after you repeat or shadow what they say. It's like speaking behind the speaker with the same words, rhythm, and pronunciation.
The great thing about shadowing is that it trains your brain to process English quickly, matches your mouth movements to English sounds, and helps you internalize natural speech patterns.
Let's try a very simple example together. Listen to this short dialogue and then repeat after me. Ready?
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Perfect. Now, here's a bit longer sentence. Listen carefully and shadow after me. I'm learning to think in English so I can speak more confidently.
Notice how your mouth and brain work together to quickly repeat the sentence. Practicing like this helps build that fast connection needed for fluent thinking.
You can use podcasts, videos, or audiobooks to practice shadowing. Pick short sentences or dialogues, listen carefully, and then speak immediately after the speaker without stopping.
A tip is to start slowly and repeat the same short clip a few times until you feel confident. Then move on to something longer or faster.
Shadowing also helps improve your pronunciation and rhythm, so it's like getting a mini speaking lesson every time you practice.
Try to do shadowing daily for just a few minutes. It might feel challenging at first, but with practice, your brain will get used to thinking in English naturally.
Before we move on, here's a quick shadowing challenge for you. Repeat this with us. English is becoming easier every day.
Awesome job! Keep practicing and you'll soon notice big improvements in how you think and speak English.
Now, let's move to part 4, thinking in English during real conversations. This is where all your practice pays off because the goal is to use your English thinking skills in actual conversations.
Absolutely, Sarah. Many learners feel nervous talking English in real life because their brains want to translate from their native language. But with practice, you can switch to thinking in English even when chatting with people, whether they are native speakers or fellow learners.
One useful strategy is to prepare yourself with common conversational phrases to think in English before and during your conversations. For example, you can think, "What do you think? Can you help me with this?" Or, "I don't understand. Can you repeat that?"
These simple phrases give your brain a checklist of useful sentences ready to use immediately. This reduces the time spent searching for words or translating ideas.
Another helpful tip is to imagine conversations in your mind before they happen. Picture yourself asking and answering questions in English about familiar topics like your day, your hobbies, or your favorite food.
This mental rehearsal builds confidence and helps you think quickly in English when real conversations happen.
Also, try to stay relaxed and don't worry about making mistakes. Thinking in English is a skill you develop gradually, and conversations are the best place to practice and learn.
Let's do a quick exercise. Imagine you meet someone new. Think the question, "What's your name?" and the answer, "My name is Daniel. What's yours?" Repeat in your mind or whisper it softly now.
Great! Next, think of asking, "Where are you from?" and responding, "I'm from here. How about you?"
By practicing these short, useful sentences in your mind, your brain starts running English more naturally during conversations.
Remember, the more you practice, the more your brain will skip translating and start thinking directly in English.
So, next time you talk to someone, try to catch yourself translating and gently remind your brain to think in English instead.
With time and experience, this will feel automatic and your English will become more smooth and natural. Now it's time for part 5, overcoming common difficulties. Learning to think in English is a fantastic goal, but it's normal to face some challenges along the way.
That's true, Sarah. One common difficulty learners have is mental translation. Your brain wants to translate every word from your native language before speaking. This can slow you down and cause confusion.
To overcome this, start by using simple words and phrases you already know. Don't worry about making perfect sentences or using advanced vocabulary at first. The goal is to get comfortable thinking and speaking in English, even if it's basic.
Another challenge is forgetting words or getting stuck during conversations. This can be frustrating, but don't panic. Use useful recovery phrases to keep the conversation going, like, "Let me think," "I'm not sure," or "Can you say that again?"
Great suggestions. These phrases buy you time to find the right words without breaking the flow. Also, it's okay to pause briefly. You don't have to speak quickly all the time.
Sometimes nervousness causes your brain to revert to your native language or freeze up. To manage this, focus on deep breathing and remind yourself that making mistakes is a natural part of learning.
Remember, every mistake is a learning opportunity. Try to embrace the process and be patient with yourself. Speaking regularly, even with simple sentences, helps build confidence and train your brain to think in English.
A useful tip is to keep a notebook or app with new words and phrases you learn. Review them often and try to use them when thinking or speaking in English.
And don't forget the power of practice every day. Even a few minutes dedicated to thinking or speaking in English can make a big difference.
So, when you face difficulties, use simple language, recovery phrases, stay calm, and keep practicing. Your brain will adapt, and over time, thinking in English will become second nature.
You're doing great. Keep going, and soon you'll notice your English becoming smoother and more natural. Well, friends, we've reached the conclusion of our episode on how to make your brain think in English. We hope you found these tips and techniques useful and inspiring.
Remember, thinking in English is a journey, not a race. It takes time and practice, but every little step you take trains your brain to process English faster and speak more naturally.
Try to use the practical tips we shared today, like labeling objects, narrating your actions, asking yourself questions, and using sticky notes to build your English thinking muscles daily.
And don't forget shadowing. This powerful technique will help you match natural rhythm, improve your pronunciation, and train your brain to think in English quickly.
When you practice thinking in English during real conversations, you'll become more confident and fluent. And if you face difficulties, use simple phrases, don't be afraid to pause, and keep practicing with patience.
Thank you so much for joining us on the English Conversation podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment telling us which tip you found most helpful, or share your own experience with thinking in English.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And remember, your brain is capable of amazing things. Keep training it, and English will become your natural language.
Until next time, keep practicing, stay motivated, and keep thinking in English. Bye for now.
Bye!